Everyone in the world has some type of credit score. Some people's are high, and some people's are low. When it comes to credit cards, many people think that you should avoid them, where many other people think the opposite. So what should you do? Credit cards definitely have many pros and cons. For instance, with poor credit card usage, you're just going to hurt your credit score. And once your credit score drops, it makes it harder to come back from. However, with proper credit card usage, credit cards can be extremely viable in the early stages of building your credit. A few things that might help you choose are knowing the pros and cons of credit cards, knowing the importance of credit, and knowing how to educate yourself when it comes to credit cards. To begin, many credit cards have pros and cons. Credit cards can be extremely useful in the early stages of building your credit with proper usage. Properly using your credit card each month will help your credit skyrocket and can also keep you out of trouble in the long run. For example, in an article written by Balance Pro, they said, if used carefully, credit cards can be an extremely helpful financial tool. However, if credit cards are used improperly, they can hurt your credit score. The most common problem with credit cards is it's so easy to go over your limit each month, and whenever you go over your limit, it becomes hard to pay back, and then you're going to end up tacking on extra interest rates and late payment fees, which makes it even harder to pay back. Also, in the article written by Balance Pro, they said it is much easier to go over or to spend more than you can afford when all you have to do is pull out a piece of plastic. Next, credit is very important. The reason credit is so important is because it helps you get loans in the future. People with low credit scores sometimes struggle to get loans from the bank for a house or their car payment. And this is because when you have a low credit score, it shows that you're a bad borrower, and when you're a bad borrower, the bank is less likely to give you a loan for something like that. For instance, in an article written by My Great Lakes, they said, working to improve your credit helps get you quality loans in the future for when you need them. Building credit score can also help you get lower interest rates on things. For instance, somebody with a high credit score might be paying around 2.4% interest rate on their car payment, whereas if somebody with a lower score might be paying anywhere from the 8 to 10% range on their car payment. Finally, the best way to choose is to educate yourself. There are so many different cards out there. Some have annual fees and some don't. Some give you different cashback options at different places you use them. There's cards for airlines that give you air miles. There's just a lot of different things. And the best way to go about this is to read through all the cards and find which one you think suits you the best for a starter credit card, and reading through it and knowing that you'll be able to afford this every month will help you feel more comfortable with your credit cards. To wrap it all up, I believe the biggest issue with credit cards is that people don't really understand them. Credit cards are used to borrow money from a lender, which is paid back at a later date. The most common misuse of credit cards is not paying back or having late payments, which is ultimately going to make it even harder to pay because you get those late payments and those interest rates. Most people recommend paying anywhere from 10 to 30% on your card each month because this shows good responsibility and that you're going to be able to pay this back on time. Credit cards ultimately show good responsibility whenever you use them properly, and having these on-time payments will show that you're a responsible person and that you're reliable.